Hello, good people. Welcome to One on One with Evans Okinya. I'm so glad that you're here with us. I want us to have this conversation that so many people are actually avoiding. We are here talking about gender-based violence among campus students, definitely the kind of relationships that they have therein. But then there's something that I want us to specifically focus on. And this is something that, well and good, people tend not to focus on that much. My name is Evans Okinya, and welcome to the show. Now, so many times, whenever the word gender-based violence is mentioned, and especially in relationships, then we often think about the women and the children being on the receiving end. In this case, girls or ladies who are actually engaged with their peers in campus being on the receiving end. But then quite often we do forget that even men sometimes suffer, or rather are victims of such kind of things that has taken place. When I hear about people going on the streets marching and doing all manner of sorts, manner of campaigns, it's always, let's stand with the women who are actually victims of such kind of stuff. Let's stand with the ladies who are being victims of gender-based violence. Let's stand with ladies who've been physically assaulted. Well, that is not bad, and I totally agree. But then we always forget about the kind of experiences that men can go through as well. We do forget that at times, men also find themselves on the receiving end. A case, in example, is I had a friend who was actually dating a lady in campus. And this friend, at times, there is a time that he actually went and found some sort of messages. I don't know whether he actually looked at the purported here, okay, not actually purported, by the girlfriend's phone, and realized that there were some sort of fishy messages that would suggest that the lady would perhaps be playing him or would be engaged with somebody else apart from him. So the boy went ahead and actually asked the lady, what is it that I'm seeing? Why are you doing this to me? Aren't you supposed to be faithful to me as I am to you? Why would you be entertaining such kind of text from somebody of the opposite gender, and yet we are dating? So this actually got this lady enraged, and the lady got so angry that she decided to actually turn this into a fight. Before we knew it, the man had already been physically assaulted and he had injuries and was bleeding, and we were just called to go in there and perhaps help solve this kind of issue. Well, it's unmanly for such kind of a stuff to happen to a man, but then it's the truth, because at the end of the day, this gentleman, in his quest to establish the truth on what was going on between him, the lady, that is a girlfriend, and the third party therein, he ended up getting physically assaulted and harassed by the girlfriend here. So in this case, this young man actually suffered because he was hit by the lady using some sort of a blunt object, and the guy actually bled. So the only good thing here is that this guy decided not to retaliate. Yeah? Otherwise, it would have been something else altogether. So most of the young people, once they find themselves, especially the men, most of the young men, when they find themselves in that kind of a situation, they tend to keep quiet on their own. Maybe they fear that when they come out here to tell us that I was physically assaulted by a lady, then a number of people in our society would perhaps laugh at them. You see, this kind of things that we've created in our society. We've created a certain condition where men cannot actually open up in as much as they are also being victims of such. I want us to change this narrative. I want us to change this kind of notion that men cannot actually suffer, or rather that men cannot actually be victims of gender-based violence. It is very true that men as well suffer. The same way this young man from the university actually suffered at the hands of his girlfriend. So let us know how to coexist. Let us know that in as much as there is violence that is perpetrated against ladies, against women, and against children, at the center of it, on the other hand, let us also know that men also suffer, and therefore we should also give them a voice. We should create that kind of a conducive environment so that even men who become victims of such can actually come up front, talk, and be open and tell people that this is actually what I was going through. This is actually what happened to me. So let us not just blanket everything and look at it on the perspective of just women and children being on the receiving end, because as I've told you here, even men suffer from gender-based violence, and especially our young men who are in campus. Let's stand with them. Let's give them a chance. Let's give them a voice, and let's also fight for them without actually being aligned to a particular gender. Otherwise, allow me to stop this conversation at this time, but of course, I'll be more than glad to again talk to you next time and give you very good stories on this important episode of One-on-One with Evans Okenyi. Thank you so much. It has been my time, and my name is Evans Okenyi.